Listen, alcohol is just out in 2024. There is a rising trend of going alcohol-free or being sober curious, and alcohol, the truth is, it's just bad for you and can famously impair your sex life. So if you're looking for another way to unwind, relax, or just have fun, I cannot recommend Via's THC gummies enough. Via has gummies for every occasion. Whether it's to improve your sleep, I love their sleep gummies. I take them everywhere. Your mood or your focus. They even have an aphrodisiac gummy called High Love to boost my arousal levels. High Love has a unique blend of cannabinoids and aphrodisiac exotic herbs that are known for their libido enhancing effects. So I've been using Via for a while now, and I absolutely love them. They're a super trusted company. They use premium hemp, natural ingredients, and they're known for their premium indoor THCA flower. All their products are made here in the US. They got quick and discreet shipping to all 50 states, so you can all enjoy them, not to worry. And also super affordable. So head over to viahemp.com and use code Emily at checkout to save 15% off your order. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout for 15% off your order and let me know what you think.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com where you can watch and listen to the show. You know, you can watch this. If you're listening, you can watch the video. It's very exciting. It's me talking to camera. Hello, hello. And today's show is about breakups, the Breakup Bible. We have the author Rachel Sussman on the show. It's the guide to healing from a breakup or divorce. I thought this would be relevant. A lot of our listeners break up, right? They get in relationships, they break up.
Yeah.
I've been gone through breakups, so we're going to talk about that. We've got Sex and News, and we're reading your emails that you sent to feedback at sexwithemily.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Sex with Emily, and Menace at White Menace. All those places, too.
Everything.
How you doing, Menace?
I'm good. I had an amazing weekend.
Yeah?
I went and saw Hunger Games.
Yeah?
That was cool.
Was it good?
Yeah. I haven't seen you for a while.
I miss you.
I know.
Right. Well, I'm going to get all into my Vegas trip on a Friday show, but
okay.
Not right now. But I'm going to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Crave. This same company that bought you the Crave Vesper necklace has been in the factory whipping up a brand new high-quality sex toy that will blow your mind. But first, they need your feedback to make this revolutionary toy the best it can be. We all know the most appealing characteristic we look for in a vibrator is how it vibrates. This is why the minds at Crave decided to put the vibrating power in your hands, literally. Introducing the Flex Series, a new generation of vibrator that will incorporate your personal vibrating preferences into its state-of-the-art design. They created a Tilt crowdsourcing campaign that will involve you, the consumers, in the development of this toy. From Tuesday, April 21st to May 19th, those who participate will have the opportunity to receive the Flex before its launch for an exclusive low price and actually pick their favorite vibrating patterns. Those top picks will be incorporated into the official Flex vibrator that will then be distributed everywhere. So, how do you get involved in this 4-week campaign? Go to crave.tilt.com. Choose between the limited edition programmable Flex, which lets you customize your own vibration patterns and submit feedback that will influence the widely distributed Flex product. Or you can go to the greatest hits Flex, which is programmed with the most popular vibrating patterns as chosen by fellow Flex users. The earlier you pre-order your exclusive Flex Series vibrator, the better deal you'll get. So go to crave.tilt.com and get involved in the Crave movement now. So anyway, yeah, here I am. So the guy I've been dating's been out of town, and I've been spending lots of time with my dog, and she sleeps on my pillow, and it's really cute, and I kind of don't really miss him that much. I just love my dog. Is that sad and wrong?
That's weird. I actually got a text message from another show today, and a listener was like, oh, yeah, there was this girl I was dating, but her pit bull slept in the bed with her, and her bed stank like the dog. So
but my dog's little and not stinky.
Your dog stinks.
Just because she farted on you once doesn't mean she stinks all the time.
She is foul.
Don't be mean about my dog, okay? I don't appreciate
Dog
it.
is foul.
So that's what's going on. And we've got lots of stuff going on with the website and changes. And if you check out our site, see what you think. If you've got any suggestions to the show, any guests you want to hear, topics you want to hear about, you can always email us at feedback@sexwithemily.com.
It's funny. We had a topic last week about, what was it last week? My mind is all over the place. About deal breakers.
Yeah.
And my friend heard it, and he's like, oh, yeah, back in the 90s, coupons were big. Well, they've had a resurgence, but he's like, yeah, I tried to take this girl to Black Angus and be all nice and stuff like that, but I busted out a coupon and she made fun of me.
We totally didn't even mention that one. That's a bad deal breaker.
The coupon.
We've talked about this in the past. If you've got a coupon, you can slip it to the waitress when the person's not looking. But slipping a coupon when you're on a date is a total deal breaker.
You would totally slip a coupon.
I would. I'm a Jew. We like coupons. But seriously, that was a fun show, the breakup show. Everyone should listen to it. It was last week at the breakup show. The deal breaker show. That's one of my favorite topics because we posted it on our Facebook page. We got so many responses on Twitter because people have got a lot of deal breakers, things that piss them off. And I think that we can all learn from that. Like, oh shit, I'm the one who talked on my cell phone during the meal. That's a deal breaker or whatever.
Yeah, but is a coupon a deal breaker for you if a guy brings a coupon?
Yeah, I just think he's
Why?
cheap.
Because he's still paying for the meal.
I know, but
you're like, oh, it'd be a deal breaker if he went Dutch on the meal. But now, since the guy's like saving a couple bucks, you're still making a deal breaker? That's not fair.
Can't it be more surreptitious about it and like slowly, like quietly slip it to the waitress? Like, I just don't think you need to whip out your coupon.
But if you've seen the coupon, then it's just off the table?
Yeah. Don't.
Really?
Yeah. Save your coupon for the night out with your buddies.
That doesn't reflect good on you. Just
Why?
FYI.
Why? I don't want a guy. I don't know. First date. Maybe if we've been dating for a while.
Gold diggerish.
Listen to me. First date, not a good idea. If we've been dating for a while and he's like, babe, got this great coupon. Let's go to this fun restaurant. I'm down. But first date, not good. That just says you're like cheap or something. Even though coupons, I use coupons. I love coupons. You just want the first date. You don't want to be like, oh, he's using a coupon on me. I'm not good enough for the full price.
I have gift cards to Taco Bell.
I'll bet you do. Do they send you them because you're always complaining about Taco Bell?
No, I'm never complaining about
Not
Taco Bell.
complaining, but you want that famous taco back from the 80s or something?
It was from 1997.
Okay.
It was called the 4-alarm double-decker taco, and they have yet to bring it back. But that's besides the point.
How did you You've like coupons for Taco Bell? What are they for $2 and you could buy 100 tacos
I
or
got
something?
like $20 worth of Taco Bell, and
That's
I'm
great,
really excited
honey.
about it.
Oh, I want to go with you.
Do you?
No.
Why not?
Taco Bell's
Taco Bell's so
because
effing good.
I was a cocktail waitress in college at University of Michigan, and I was a cocktail waitress for 4 years, and they had a Taco Bell in the bar, like a little Taco Bell counter. So we got Taco Bell at 2 a.m. when the bar closed every night, and I've never been able to eat Taco Bell since. I mean, then it was good because we were always drinking on the job too, so we were drunk and eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m. and I'm just kind of over it. I've never been able to go back to Taco Bell. Sorry to say. So that's how it is. But I've got a little bit of sex in the news for us here if you'd like to hear it. Free plastic surgery for Brazil's poor. It sounds like something Marie Antoinette might say. If they're going to beg, they can at least be nice to look at. Free Botox and laser hair removal, free chemical peels and anti-cellulite treatments may at first seem shockingly frivolous in a country like Brazil, which, despite great economic growth in recent years, still battles extreme poverty and diseases. But the philosophy behind the more than 220 clinics that treat the poor, beauty is a right, and the poor deserve to be ravishing too. Wow, I want to go there and get some Botox.
Brazil has some of the most beautiful women in the world.
I know, and now even the poor are going to be even more beautiful than ever.
God damn, Brazil.
Brazil.
I just heard it's very dangerous to visit there.
Why? Oh, dangerous, like not safe for your world.
For a traveler.
Right. That's
but
true.
I would love to go there sometime.
I was there once. It was amazing. Okay, 1 in 5 would give up sex rather than the internet. A global survey of 20,000 people found out what modern man will forgo in order to keep his internet. At the top of the list, booze, chocolate, and sex. 73% would give up alcohol to go online, but while only 10% of people would want to give up their car, 12% would give up coffee, and a resounding 20% would give up sex over an internet connection. But the top of the list, 73% would give up alcohol. That's amazing. Only 20% sex, though, so that's not that high. I wouldn't give up sex, but when I want to get online, I want to get online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't give up any of that for sex.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what people would say. You wouldn't give up any of that for sex. You wouldn't give up anything for sex.
I want to give it up. Saying, oh, I'll give up the internet so I can have sex.
People love these
I would.
stories. There's always like, would you give up? Would you rather have a new pair of jeans or sex? And women always choose jeans. Or would you ever the chocolate bar or sex?
No. I'd rather have sex than any of that stuff.
Oh, good, honey.
I don't really
I'm glad
care.
to hear that. That makes me
The only
happy.
reason I'm on the internet so much is for work. It's
Right.
just building a network. That's all
Except
I care.
for on the
But
weekends when you're Instagramming and tweeting all
it's
weekend.
fun. Yeah.
I don't find it as fun as you do.
You don't?
No,
Why?
I don't know. The tweeting and the.
I spark a lot of conversations
I know.
because I reply back to people. You just
I
don't.
reply back, not
You
to
do?
every single person, but I reply back. I don't have
Where?
time. I'm on Twitter, on Facebook.
You do?
You don't see me respond?
Well, you can't unless I'm following that person. So
Okay,
I don't really
right.
see it.
No, I do. It's part of the biz. Katy Perry botches brazen hookup attempt. The single siren probably thought it was a good idea passing out her phone number to the various cute studs she just spotted at the Shishi Oscar parties, including Elton John's annual bash. But Miss Siren scheme backfired big time. Friends have reported that Katy got calls from a lot of creeps and drunks after the guys she gave her number to were passing it on to the other guys.
What?
So she gave her number to some hot prospects,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Hey, you want to call Katy Perry?" I feel like kind of a loser. Some drunk guy calls you. And says,
Eh, is this really Katy Perry?
"This really got your number."
Eh.
Yeah, that suck. Any other news that you got on your TMZ reports?
Nothing like sexual really is going on. Did you see last week that Kim Kardashian
Yes.
got all the
Powder
on her
thrown
and
on
stuff
her.
like
Yeah,
that?
what was
That's
that about?
stupid.
Just because she was wearing fur?
Yeah, but I don't really ever see her wear fur.
Well, I guess she was, and they threw powder on her. I guess
She wasn't wearing fur right then.
She wasn't? Oh, I thought she
No.
was.
Some crazy chick poured powder on her, which I guess it was flour. I found out.
Okay.
And called her a fur hag.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing a faux fur today, but that's, most people wear
Yeah.
faux furs. I mean, I couldn't even afford a real fur, but not that I would buy one at all. Okay, we've got some emails from the peeps. So thanks everyone for emailing us at feedback@sexwithemily.com. You can also email us right through the website and stuff like that. Okay, so hi, Emily. I'm wondering if you have any suggestions about my problem. I'm 41 and my girlfriend is 50 and I'm extremely attracted to her, but when we get into bed, I can only perform a little at a time and often lose my erection. I don't understand this since I'm able to stay hard while enjoying porn, but I'm not able to go all the way when making love to her. Please help. Any suggestions will be appreciated, although also I do finish when she performs oral, but like I said, when we start actually having sex, I have a problem. Thanks, Kenneth from Nebraska. So I'm wondering, did this problem just start? You've been together, your girlfriend's 50, you're very attracted to her. So I'm not sure if this is a lot of times when men lose their erections, it's like kind of something psychological happens when they're going inside there. And maybe it happened once and so it's happening again. And so if you could get out of your head literally and just kind of focus on the sensations that you're feeling, it might not happen. Like I really feel that if it happens once to a guy or a woman, something happens sexually, that we keep thinking in our mind that it's going to happen again. So, but you should also get checked out by your doctor. There's some pills you could take. You could take Viagra. I don't always go towards the pills as the first thing, but I would get checked out. I would ask your doctor to see if anything else is going on. But the fact that you can stay hard during porn leads me to believe that it is more of a psychological issue. There's a book that I always talk about called The Multi-Orgasmic Man, and that really helps men. If you read this book, you could probably download it for your Kindle or something too, or your iPad or wherever people read books these days. And you can check out the book. I think that would be really helpful. But, I mean, at least you're finishing when she performs oral, but it's just the intercourse. Does that ever happen to you?
Maybe what's going on down there? You know?
What
Are
do you
you throwing
mean?
a hot dog down a hallway?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Is he throwing a hot dog? Oh, you mean she big?
Yeah, maybe, she's a little bit older, had a lot of experience.
No, Menace, that is the dumbest thing. That it's not even true.
How's that not even
That
true?
women's vaginas are bigger and looser, and I don't know.
How's that not true?
I don't
Then
think
why
it's
do you,
true.
why do you have Kegel Camp if that's not true?
Kegel Camp is not to close your vagina up. It's to strengthen your PC muscles. It's totally different. It's muscles that you need to contract and release them and exercise them to have stronger orgasms.
What happened to them then?
Well, everyone needs to strengthen them. He's talking about my app, Kegel Camp, which you should download right now from the iTunes store. And it helps men maintain their erections. So this is for Kenneth too. If you do your exercises 5 minutes a day, Kegels, they're for men and for women. They will help you with your sex life, I promise. And it's not because it doesn't make your vagina smaller. It just makes the muscles stronger so you can tense and relax them when you're having sex.
All right.
Menace. Okay. Hi, Emily. I'm 17 and my boyfriend and I have been together for 5 years. We have a great relationship, but we're having a bit of a problem in the bedroom. I sweat a lot. We have only started having intercourse, but rather recently so. It has never been an issue before when we were getting intimate. But now it's becoming a huge problem, so much that he's becoming turned off by it. He said that it didn't bother him that much, but I can tell it's getting on his nerves. What in the world can I do? Sylvie from Hamilton, Ontario, California. Okay, so I've heard of excessive sweating, and there are a lot. Does it only happen when you're in the bedroom, or does it happen like in your day-to-day life? Like if you're nervous or if you're at work or something or at school. But there's some things you can do for excessive sweating. They actually prescribe Botox.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive, but you can like shoot it in your armpits and it'll stop your sweating for like 3-4 months at a time. But I would definitely go to your doctor and get checked out. There's also, if you're taking any meds like antidepressants, that can cause excessive sweating as well. So I'm wondering if you've mixed anything up lately that could cause the sweating. But I don't know why that would turn him off. Would that turn you off if a woman was sweating a lot during sex?
During sex, no.
No, it's kind of hot. The more you're all slippery and stuff. But I'm wondering if it's happening at other times in your life too.
Of course, you got to do the laundry after. I don't want to clean those
Yeah,
sheets.
Mendes doesn't like dirty sheets, and you got to do the laundry. But sometimes I sweat during sex. I'm wondering, you live in Ontario. It's not so it's so cold. It's not so hot there. So I would get checked out by your doctor because there are some people that just have those genes that make them excessively sweat.
Yes,
happens.
that
And
I've
I
seen
hear
it on
Botox.
MTV.
Botox.
MTV did a whole special on it.
On excessive sweating?
Yeah, you should Google it.
And what did they
listener.
say to do?
Well, there's not too much you can do, but they did talk about the Botox thing and stuff like
Did they?
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's expensive. It's a couple $100, but you shoot it in your armpits, you don't sweat. Let's try that out. Okay. Dear Emily, also want to say I'm thinking about something as a possible show topic, confidence. You've mentioned it once before, but maybe it bears repeating and in more detail. I had a girlfriend who was on the heavy side when I was in college, but I think she was so confident it didn't matter. She was fun to be around, and I think I would have picked her over somebody who was slimmer. Not saying not to be healthy, just that self-confidence is great and I think important for men and women. Have a great weekend, Greg from Denver. Well, Greg, we talk about that all the friggin' time. Confidence is so, so important that it's actually the number one thing that people say is attractive in a man and a woman. And we could do a show topic on that, how to cultivate confidence. A lot of it has to do with getting deep into your own issues and realizing what's making you have low self-esteem and insecurities. But that really is, we all hold ourselves back in life. If you look at most of life's circumstances, the things that hold us back is our own fears. And our own fears are related to our own insecurities. And our insecurities are related to our confidence. So you have to cultivate confidence.
Yeah, and just not overconfidence because you're coping
Don't be
with...
cocky.
Yeah,
you're
you're
saying?
coping with... some are just like... I don't know really how to explain it, but some people are trying to hide that they're not confident, and so they're like overly confident, but not in a cocky way. But it's kind of hard to explain. You have to be around it. But
Right. You mean people who are...
like they don't have that much confidence, but I'm going to show everybody that
Right.
I'm confident and things
That
like
still
that.
shows that you're insecure if you're overcompensating
Yeah.
and not really confident. I mean, I had to work on it. I wasn't always the most confident, but I feel like I'm pretty confident now. But I think it comes with getting older and like recognizing your weaknesses. We all have weaknesses. We're not perfect. And I think it also comes from this notion that we're supposed to, I'm moving around here in my chair. I think it comes from this notion that we all think that we have to be perfect and that all of our weaknesses make us less than so. And I think if you learn to celebrate your weaknesses and be like, I think half of the battle in life is that you've got these weaknesses and you've got things that are your challenges, and your challenges in life don't really change, but it's embracing them and then going towards your strengths. Like, what am I really good at and how can I blow that up? Like, I think in work too, like I'm really like my passion and what I think I'm good at is doing the radio show. Like dealing with the website, the billing and the invoicing, that stuff I hate. You got to have other people do that stuff for you. So eventually you just go through your strengths, right? Don't you feel like your job, you get to play with your strengths?
Yeah. Like I hate writing, so I have my assistant
Exactly.
write all my stuff for me.
I don't love writing. Well, I like writing, but I
You
just don't
probably
have time
received
for it.
emails not written by me, but written by
I'm
my
so
assistant.
sad. I'm so
What?
sad because I thought they were all from you, and then I sent you
No,
naked pictures, and then it went to your thing. Whatever.
Oh, I never saw them.
You never saw the naked photos?
Yeah, I'm
your,
gonna have
your,
to-
your your assistant's been keeping them.
She's C blocking.
Man,
No,
what a bitch.
she's in Spain right now, so I'm screwed.
Okay, she is.
Yeah.
You can't write a word when she's out of
Nothing.
town. But what
I
I'm
want
saying
her to
is, a
come
lot
back
of people.
already.
This is the thing with confidence. A lot of people would be like, wow, you can't write. That sucks. But like, you're like, I don't like writing. I'm not a writer. And you get people to do things for you, or you just like don't get a job where you're writing, or you get someone else to help you.
Yeah.
So I just think that why people aren't confident because they think they have to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect.
Hell
Okay.
no.
I know. Hell's
People
no.
like, well, just don't be whiny about it. Like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, some people get all down about that kind of stuff.
I know. But confidence and self-esteem, they also say for sex, if you're not confident and you don't have high self-esteem, that really wreaks havoc in the bedroom too. So I think that's a great topic, Greg. And we're going to do a show all about confidence.
Do it.
I love it. Okay, well, we can get our guest on the phone in a minute. She wrote a book called The Breakup Bible. It says it's a smart guide to healing from a breakup or divorce. She's a licensed therapist. Rachel Sussman wrote the book. And every year it says 1 million women divorce in the United States and millions of others break up. Even with many experiencing heartaches, many women feel isolated and alone. So this is how to help people get through breakups. And she uses 3 phases of healing, understanding, and transformation. And we're going to get into some of her questions. We're going to ask her some questions about this book and how you can get over breakup, because we all go through breakups, right? I know guys have an easier time dealing with breakups, so they think. I believe that men are like delayed on breakups. Like they just go out and bang everything, and then 6 months later they get upset. But
You
women
always
deal
say
with them in
that.
the moment. It's true. Women deal with breakups in the moment. So let me tell you about something that you need to buy ASAP that will change your life, change your sex life. Massage candles. So candles are great for sex. We all know that. For setting the atmosphere, you light a candle, it sets the mood, because who wants those bright overhead fluorescent lights? These are aromatherapy candles, and they're amazing, but there's a trick to them. They're actually massage candles. They look like a regular candle, but these candles melt into the most amazing, delicious massage oil. But it's not messy and oily and waxy or sticky or hot or anything. The warm, luxurious oil you can pour in your partner's body and give them the most like sensual massage, or just pour it on, and it just feels great. It's soothing. And I've heard from listeners all over who are like, this is the thing that spiced up our life, because it's a way to reconnect. Sometimes maybe you haven't been having sex in a while and you want to like just come back together with some touch. Give her a great foot massage. Give them a back massage, and they smell amazing. So you got to get them. Check them out. In fact, someone emailed me. He said, my girlfriend was skeptical at first, but agreed to try the warm oil on me first and gave me a back rub. Then I reciprocated, and we had amazing sex. She cannot stop talking about how good the candle smells and how great the massage oil feels. And I'm convinced that the scent in the candle helped us through some of the barriers to sex that we have faced lately. So I created these candles so you can have the best sex of your life. Check them out. Go to emilyandtony.com and use code SEXWITHEMILY, and you get 20% off your first order. That's emilyandtony.com. Also, if this week only, from April 21st to April 26th, you get a free Down Under Comfort, which is another amazing award-winning product, when you purchase a Menage a Trois candle set with coupon code COMFORT. So check that out, April 21st to 26th. Get a free Down Under Comfort. When you purchase the Menage a Trois candles, you can get all 3 of them with coupon code COMFORT. Okay.
Hello, it's Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. This is Emily and Menace from the Sex with Emily show. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Nice to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you, too. Thank you so much. We were just talking about your book, The Breakup Bible.
Yes.
And I think it's going to help a lot of our listeners. So I'm wondering.
Well, I'm certainly hoping to have that effect. That's why I wrote it.
I love it. I mean, because we get so many emails from people talking about, like, how do I get over a breakup? How do I get back into it? I want to have sex again, but I'm not sure how to start having sex again. So tell me about the story behind this book and why you wrote it.
Well, I went through an experience about 5 years ago where so many of my clients, friends, and my sister had just gone through really bad breakups and divorces. And I really was impressed with how some people recovered so well, and they were putting in their time, and they were using me as a confidant, and they were moving on and going on to great relationships. Then I saw a lot of other people just making colossal mistakes.
Okay.
Like not doing the work to figure out why their relationship ended or what part they played in it, or going out there and like furiously dating or sleeping with people only to get hurt again. And I said, this is just a companion guide that every woman can use after a breakup.
Okay. So what were some of the common issues? You said that some people were doing it right and people were doing it wrong. So what was the wrong thing? Like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, like, oh my God, I do that. So what were some of the things that not wrong?
Well, I think there are many wrong things that people
Right.
do. One of them is just not accepting that your breakup is over and the relationship was flawed and just not being able to move on. And that might include some stalking behaviors.
Right.
And I don't mean like, showing up inside the person's office, but over calling or over texting or trying to get your boyfriend to meet up with you when they clearly don't want to. I think that's a big mistake, and it makes people feel simply awful about themselves and their circumstance.
Right, exactly. And I found with a lot of women, a lot of my friends who've gone through breakups, I feel like it took them forever, if ever, to get to the point where they were willing to look at what their part of it was.
That's such a crucial statement that you made.
Yeah, like they were like, oh, he's this, he's that, and they just wanted to go off on all the bad things the guy did. I'm like, okay, it takes two to tango. You were 50% part of this relationship. But when women are like raging with anger about someone, they just don't want to look at it, at themselves and what their part was.
It is a process.
It is.
And, I've written the book in a building block fashion. First there's healing, then there's understanding, and then there's transformation. And healing is that early part of the breakup where you have so many emotions cascading through your body. You can feel completely sad and overwrought one day, and then the next day you'll be furious, and then you can feel very embarrassed or ashamed or very guilty. And that is part of the process, just processing those feelings. And then when you're feeling a little better, then I move women into the understanding stage, and I give them an exercise called creating your personal love map.
Oh, I love it.
And that's when you can figure out why you were dating this person, how you both behaved in the relationship, and how you're mourning your loss. And I do have a whole chapter on accountability, because if you don't understand the part that you played in the breakup, you're just destined to make those same mistakes over and over again.
Exactly. And it's such good lessons that you can learn, that not just for the relationships, the issues you might have been making in the relationship, you're also making at work, you're also making with friends. So it's really about breakups, but I think it's also about, it's a really good self-discovery tool too, going through these steps.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, because that's really what it is about. It is about self-reflection. And you're right about the patterns. I mean, we do the same things with our lovers that we do with our friends and sometimes our parents. And the more that you can be self-aware and take responsibility, you can really live a great life and a happier and a healthier life.
Exactly. It's a transformation. So,
and I was going to say, people can't stop breakups, correct? Because sometimes somebody wants to break up and the other person doesn't want to. There's nothing that they can do about it, right?
Well, I think that a lot of breakups, happen because of there's many different things going on in the relationship that might be causing that to happen. And, you can have good communication skills and try to communicate with your partner to see if you're breaking up over the right reason. But if someone is hell-bent on breaking up, they are going to do that.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you can't do anything about it. You just got to look at what happened. Like you said, take this whole holistic approach to looking at the whole relationship. So you talked about healing as the first stage, and then understanding is the second stage, the second part of the book?
Yes.
So in understanding, what's that about?
Well, understanding is that section where I really,
that's
encourage women
map.
to get involved with their love map and to figure out where their relationship patterns started, how they developed, why they even chose this person, how they behaved in their relationship, and then they can really start to see, oh, I see, maybe this wasn't the best relationship for me to be in the first place.
Right.
And that's really, your aha moment, like it wasn't meant to be.
Right. And then what is the love map? Can you talk more about that? Can anyone do a love map? Okay. Well, I want to do a love map.
In the personal love map, and I give you a whole diagram in the book, it shows you that that your personality is formed vis-a-vis 4 different areas. One is psychology, which is kind of attachment theory, how you attach to different people and why. Like, for instance, very unbeknownst to many of us, if we had a critical parent, we might find ourselves attracted to a critical lover, not even realizing that that's what's going on.
Right.
And it's really also about how your self-esteem was born. I mean, you can come from a great family, but maybe you were teased as a child, or you didn't feel attractive, or everyone in your family was athletic, but you weren't. So I give you these different areas to trace the culture you come from, how you feel about yourself, the way you were raised, and this is really how we get to look at ourselves as a human being and say, well, wow, I kind of don't have the kind of self-esteem that I want to because of this. So I've been attracted to the wrong people. And it will really help you shift any patterns. You can go out and date healthier men and have better
You
relationships.
can make
in the
healthier
future.
choices, right? And
Yes.
what about self-esteem? That is such a huge one for women and for men. That how do you, if you have low self-esteem, like what do you think it really is about going back and figuring out where it came from and then how to build it? I mean, how do you help people build it? Because it is really something that not only impacts your relationships, but your sex life. A lot of women with low self-esteem are not able to have great sex
Absolutely.
lives. So
Absolutely.
how do
and
you
I see that
do
so
that?
much in
Yeah.
my private practice, that women having sexual problems because they're not confident in their body, or they
Right.
don't like the way they look, so they can't really get into that and be their full sexual self. I think that if you look back into your past and you look hard, everyone will figure out why their self-esteem is as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, having a high school-aged daughter, I mean, you can give a kid as much love as you can, but then so much stuff happens in school.
Exactly.
You can be a kid with a learning disability. You can be a kid that you don't like the way your hair looks. I mean, I've had women say to me, when I was in grade school and high school, I had the frizziest hair,
Right.
So it's really crazy things. And it's sometimes, like I said, you can come from a great family, but you have poor self-esteem for other reasons. Maybe through prejudice or poverty or all different kind of reasons. And when you can figure out how your self-esteem was formed, that's when you can go about turning things
That's
around.
so
'Cause
interesting.
If you know why you feel bad about yourself, then you can say, well, this kind of isn't a valid reason.
Right.
Or if I don't like the way I look, maybe I need to get to the gym, and then I'll feel
Exactly.
better about my body.
Right. That's so good. That's so important. It's great to have a tool too to get people to direct them right to those key points that made them insecure in the first place. So what are some mistakes that people make? What are some of the common mistakes you think people make after a breakup?
Another really common one over the last decade or so is, of course, the internet.
Right.
And it's Facebook stalking, or or spying on your ex through his Facebook posts, through his tweets. And I think it just gives us all more information than we need. So I beg my clients and anyone reading this book, I say defriend them on Facebook.
Defriend them. Yes.
Defriend, erase the phone number, erase everything. Don't save old voicemails. Don't save old texts. Don't, block them on your email. You need to really have a huge period of zero contact.
Exactly. You
so
really
you can
do.
move on.
It's true. And it's the hardest thing to do because it's like an addiction. It's like quitting a habit,
It is
like
an addiction.
Yeah.
And one of my clients confessed to me yesterday, that she looks at her ex-boyfriend's Facebook status every single day.
Yeah.
And she said it's killing her. She says, "Oh, he's going to parties. I see him with other women." And what I say to women like that is compare yourself to other women in your circumstance who have moved on and are creating self-esteem, and they're doing a great job. Stop looking at him and what he's doing. I mean, he could just be doing that to make you jealous, or
Right.
because he's got nothing else to do, so he's just running around 24/7, going to parties because he doesn't know how to handle his feelings.
Right.
But, you're just subjected to wrong information.
Right. Exactly. It's like you're a masochist almost, like going to their Facebook page every day.
It's totally masochist, and it's what people don't understand is that whatever result you're trying to achieve, it's going to backfire. It's not going to be good for you.
Okay, you're totally right. You got to defriend them. I know I've been defriended. A lot of guys I've broken up with. The next day I wake up and then we're no longer
about
friends.
That, Emily, but
You know what?
happens.
They did the right thing. They did the right thing. Okay, so what are some of the breakup myths that you talk about that you'd like to dispel?
Well, I think that, when women get broken up with or when they're thinking of breaking up, all their fears come out. And then you hear a lot of these kind of stereotypes, like all men are cheaters, or all men like younger women, or no one dates on the internet, only jerks are on the internet. So, you hear, all those fears and kind of prejudices come out, and they're not true. There's plenty of good men out there.
Exactly.
I know of a lot of wonderful couples who have met on the internet. Another myth that women say to me is, well, all men just want to have sex. You know what? Everyone wants to have sex, and good sex is an excellent reason to be in a relationship. But that doesn't mean all men want is sex. I know a lot of women who want sex too. So you've got to break through those myths that are like in your head that are stopping you from moving forward.
What if you're a woman who's been cheated on? I mean, that's a really tough one to get over.
It is, and you can add a few months to your healing progression
Exactly,
if you've been cheated on, because that having your trust broken like that, it's just universal. It's really the dagger in the heart. And especially if you really had no idea and then you find out that your boyfriend's or husband has been unfaithful. And for some women, they find out that it's been going on for a long time. You know, having that kind of trust broken, it really shatters your view of everything in the world. I mean, people will say to me, nothing makes sense anymore after finding out something like that.
Right, exactly.
So you're right. It's really hard, and it's hard to recover from, but you can recover.
You can recover from all of this. Like, everyone listening, like, you will get over it and you will get through it. It's true. So what about, what are some common ways that sex can instigate a breakup or damage relationships, since we are a sex show?
Yeah, sex can damage relationships. It's, it can be, something that brings people together. It can also be something that breaks people up. And as I'm sure as you know, what I often see is sex drives that aren't kind of on the same page.
Right. What do you tell? Exactly.
Wants it more than the other. The other person wants it, doesn't want it very much. I mean, I had some woman tell me just recently she really likes to cuddle, but she doesn't like sex. And, she came from a family where sex was just never discussed. And, so you got to work with someone like that. But, most couples, in most couples, there's someone who wants sex more than the other.
Exactly.
So it's negotiation, it's communication, it's compromise, trying to work through it. I mean, I think communication is one of the sexiest tools that a couple can have in a relationship.
Absolutely.
But if some person doesn't want to have sex and they get shamed and they feel embarrassed or uncomfortable, that's, something a couple will start arguing about, which can cause a breakup.
Exactly. It's like the elephant in the room. People they don't want to talk about the sex. It's like, that's
Totally.
your biggest issue. You've mismatched
Totally.
libidos, and why aren't you talking about your sex life?
But they're not talking about it, but yet they'll make little passive-aggressive digs to each other.
Exactly.
I've heard so many men say, if I can't get it from you, well, where am I going to get it? And and I've heard women really shame their boyfriends or husbands who have lower sex drives than they do.
Yeah, it's not just women. People always think it's the woman stereotype, but I know lots of men don't.
I've seen a lot of women want more sex than their husbands, can or are willing to give them, or boyfriends, and they just can really shame them and make them feel terrible about themselves, which is a problem because that's the opposite of what they need. They need to feel sexy. They need to feel masculine.
Right.
So, like you said, relationships can really go off track over sex.
Exactly. And then how do past messages influence our sex lives? Like the past things that we've learned in our life.
Sometimes they influence very positively and otherwise they don't. I mean, if you had a relationship that had some sexual problems in the past, you might just be bringing those same problems right into this new relationship, if you're a woman whose last relationship ended over sex, or if you didn't have much of a sex drive. I mean, the time that you've broken up before you start dating again, that's the time to get down to the bottom of that. What does sex mean to you? What does it represent? Why haven't you been able to have a good sex life in the past?
And if you
go see a sex therapist on your own.
That's what I always tell people. Exactly. If you've got your own issues around sex or it keeps coming up in relationships, you can heal your sex issues if you go see sex therapist. Is amazing.
You can go to a sex therapist. There's great books out there. I mean, I find that even in today's age, a lot of young women, and I work with women in their 20s, and they just really, have not explored what sex really means to them.
Right.
Or they've had a lot of drunken hookups, but not a long-term sustained sexual relationship.
Exactly.
A lot to learn.
A lot to learn, and there's no word. I mean, we teach it on the show, but there's not a lot of places, for people to go right now, women to learn about it. So.
And you'd be embarrassed, people are embarrassed talking about it, and
Absolutely.
that always surprises me. Even like sometimes I'll work with a couple and they'll say, "Well, can we talk to you about this?" And I'm like, "What do you think?
Exactly.
What do you think you're here for?"
I mean, don't you think most couples need to talk about sex, even if they're not breaking up? Like, sex is just a huge factor in relationships that couples just never talk about. So
it is, and and for couples that really understand about having sex, it's part of the glue that keeps them together. But couples that have sex very infrequently, unless they both have low sex drives and they're comfortable with that, it can really be one of those factors that just keeps
I agree.
chipping away at the fabric of the relationship.
That's what I always say. It does chip away at the fabric. People are like, "Oh, we're fine. It's cool. We like to watch movies together and do other things." I'm like, no, if you're not having sex, you're not connecting on this deep, intimate level that is so important and so crucial to keeping that that glue together in the
It's
relationship.
true. And there's so much you can learn about your partner and your couplehood, through having, good sex and regular sex. And it's kind of like something you can joke about, the next day or a couple days later, well, you seemed to like me last week when or something like that. It's just can be something that it can be humorous also.
Right,
Couples
exactly.
need to
It doesn't have to be
laugh
so
also.
heavy. Talk about sex. It could be a fun thing. Okay, one last question for you. You talk about the 3 stages. We talked about healing. We talked about understanding. And the third one is transformation that you write about in your book, The Breakup Bible. What happens in the transformation? It sounds great.
Transformation is a really fun stage where you're starting to feel better and you feel that the breakup is somewhat behind you and you realize you're thinking about your ex less and you're starting to go out and do things. And so what I really say to women is don't go right out there and date. Use this time to really expand your life. Think about everything in your life. How about your career, since career is so important to so many women? Are you happy in your job? Could there be more you could do to advance in your company? Maybe it's time you do a career change or something like that. If you're a woman who's been home with children after a divorce, you might have to go back to work. Take the time to figure out how you're going to do that. Do you need to re-educate yourself? Do you need to, pull some old colleagues together? But also, expand your mind. Take classes. Read. Expand your body. Well, I mean that in a good way.
Right, exactly. Exercise. Pick up a new sport. Exactly.
Challenge your body. Join a sports team. I mean, go out for, take tennis lessons. So it's travel. Learn how to speak another language. Take a cooking class.
Right.
But then by the time you get out there and you start dating again, you're really going to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
So whatever low self-esteem you might have been suffering from after the breakup, if you want to attract the right kind of guy, you've got to get out there as like the real thing.
Right.
You've got to feel great. You've got to look great. And then you're going to attract confident men because confident men like confident women.
Exactly. It's so true. Because if you're one of those people who go from one to the next, one relationship to the next, because you feel like, oh God, it's going to heal this wound. I don't want to feel this pain of the breakup. So I'm just going to start dating again. Which I used to do that in my 20s. I would go from one guy to the next, right? And I never had to heal. I never had to heal from any past breakup. But this sounds like it is a great book that people can use just for any stage of relationships. I guess even if you're not dating, you're having a hard time, I think creating the love map and realizing where some of your weaknesses and your strengths are could be just a great tool for people.
It really is, and thanks so much for saying that, Emily, because we can all use to know more about our relationship and where
our
we came from.
Absolutely.
And you don't need to have an individual therapist to do that. You can really just pick so much up from reading this book. You learn about your patterns, and we all have patterns.
We do.
And it will make you healthier in a relationship. And it's also a great book if you've been single longer than you want to.
Right.
You feel like you're not meeting the right guys or you keep making the same mistakes. Do a love map, build up your confidence, and then get back out there. And, I've heard so many women after they've worked my program say, I know exactly what I'm looking for, and he doesn't look anything like my old relationship.
Exactly. I think everyone should work this program. It's called The Breakup Bible, The Smart Woman's Guide to Healing from a Breakup or a Divorce. And it's Rachel Sussman. Where can they buy your book? What's the best place?
You can buy it anywhere, wherever you're comfortable buying books. I mean, I love bookstores, so patronize your bookstore, read more of them, or you can certainly buy it online at Amazon, or you can buy it right off of my website, which is www.rachelassussman.com.
Okay, great, and we'll also have it on our website as well. Thank you so much, Rachel. We really appreciate it.
Great to talk to you.
Great talking to you too.
Thanks for
have a great
me
day.
on.
Of course.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I want to do the love map. I really believe that the love map is so important for people because we get our thousands of emails from listeners who are like, why do I date the same guy over again? Or why do I keep dating the same woman over again? And I always say go to therapy. But what I really mean is work your issues, get into your patterns, who you are, why you date the certain way that you date, and then kind of heal that and move on. And then you'll be attracted to the right kind of people. I think the people who have unhealthy patterns, this will help you break your patterns.
What do you think your map would look like?
Oh, it'd be all over the place. I know my map, though. I think that my love map would be, I don't know. It's transformed over time, but I think I'm actually attracted to really healthy guys now. But in the past, maybe guys who are more caretakers or guys who were a little needier because that made me feel good initially, but I didn't really want needy guys. No, I want to do the work. I've healed a lot since you've met me. I think I'm in a healthy place.
All right.
What would your map look like?
My map, it will look pretty level.
Oh, yeah. It's just
I
a
don't know.
memo.
No. I mean, I think my map would say, oh, I learned this from that relationship. I learned this from that.
You just got, but the bottom line here is that we all need to learn from our past relationships. We all need to look at it. When it ends, don't just start banging every chick or every guy you meet. Take a pause, take a few months, take a few weeks and look at why it ended. What was my part in it? You could blame the other person till the cows come home, but really you had a part in it. You were 50% of the relationship. And I think we can all learn from that. So that's what we got for you today. Thanks, everyone, for listening to Sex with Emily. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. Okay, so you want to mix up your masturbation routine. I understand. You masturbate, you know the deal, you know how to get yourself off, but have you ever tried Fleshlight? It's the #1 sex toy for men, and it's probably the only one you ever want. Because you've got your hand, you know that feels good, but Fleshlight, it's a masturbation sleeve that looks and feels like the real deal. It actually simulates the sensations of having sex. How amazing is that? And some people have told me it feels even better than sex. But, we're not trying to replace your sex life. We're just trying to help you mix things up. There's also the stamina training unit, helps you practice lasting longer and becoming a better level. The Fleshlight Stamina Training Unit helps you practice lasting longer and becoming a better lover. Plus, you'll experience some of the most mind-blowing orgasms of your life. It's like sex in a can. They call it a Fleshlight because it looks like a flashlight. No one's going to know what's going on in that can except for you, and it's going to be your new favorite thing that you're never going to leave home without, or you could leave it by your bedstand and no one will know what it is. So check it out. Also, what's a good fleshlight experience without some flesh lube? If you go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Fleshlight banner, use code EMILY, you get a free bottle of their award-winning flesh lube. Check it out.